Today we're going to take a walk around Ribeira Brava, a town where we've become very familiar with in the time we have spent in Madeira. And I'll talk about some of the positives, some of the negatives, and why we like it, and maybe sometimes why we don't like it. So right here is the local high school. It's actually a building where we've become very familiar with. We are taking twice a week Portuguese classes in the evening at this school. Very reasonable, 10 euros for an entire semester, actually an entire year. And it starts us at the beginning. I don't necessarily need to be at the beginning. I've got some Brazilian Portuguese in my belt, and I actually tested at one of the local language academies as a second year Portuguese student, but I have found it extremely useful, or I am finding it extremely useful, as is Patty, who has no Portuguese knowledge. And we have a teacher named Rui Gomes, who is considered basically the best Portuguese teacher on the island by many, very recommended by a lot of expats. So here we are at the bus terminal. This is kind of one of the main connecting points between the west and a part of the island and Funchal, or even the east part of the island. It's a very major connecting point. You got a lot of these Siga buses that go. And over here is the Etnographic Museum of Madeira. Haven't gone in it yet. I assume at some point I will, just because I'm interested in the history of the island. I will put a link to it in the description. This is a snack bar that we actually rather like. Patty was waiting for me at the snack bar once, and she urgently needed to go to the bathroom, and we were with Happy, and the people at the snack bar were so nice. They babysat Happy while she went to the bathroom, and this just tells you a lot about the quality of the people in Madeira. So we're heading down towards the ocean, heading down towards the very, I would say, the essential tourist district of Ribeira Brava. A lot of walking streets, a lot of snack bars, and you'll start to see the souvenir stores. Snack bars. We're going to veer a little bit to the left here. Over here is the municipal library. Another thing to kind of take notice of. I don't think we are technically allowed to borrow books from here, but it's a good place to go to look up information, right? That's what libraries are for, says the guy who got his master's in library science from the University of Michigan more than 10 years ago. Rather like this little nook that we're about to go in to, kind of like old Madeira. It's very quaint and a little bit hazardous. I don't think I would have Patty, with her walking difficulties, come up here. Actually, I think she has gone up because it does have the handrails, and that's kind of a good thing. We're just going to go up. It eventually goes to a Miradouro, I believe. Just going here from memory here. it's a pretty long walk. I would not recommend it. If you have walking difficulties, or if you get a little winded by the verticalness of Ribeira Brava. As a matter of fact, we are not going to go all the way up, but we are going to get a good look at the town. And one of the real positives of Ribeira Brava is that it is a very walkable flat town, which you can see from the thing. Over there is the road up to Tabua. This road goes up to Campanario. So Ribeira Brava is in a valley surrounding things. So, So next to the library is this kind of cool store that's a combination of electronics and appliances as well as home decor. It's called Electrosom, and we'll just peek a little bit in it, give you a sense of what we got here. Okay. So why wouldn't you want to live in Ribeira Brava? Well, the problem is that the flatness of this town means a lot of people, unless you have an apartment, and maybe even the apartment isn't great, you don't get that spectacular view of the island or of the ocean that you get in a lot of other places, because this town is flat, so it's a trade-off. It's really hard to get a very scenic place to live in the heart of town. By the way, here we have finanzas, where you get your NIF or do some important stuff. This is one of the major commercial streets. You got a shoe store over here, Pastelaria, as well as a snack bar, a pharmacia, a couple of pharmacias in town. This is the one that's closest to the waterfront. And we're coming up on the church of Ribeira Brava. I see Campanario. CTT, which of course is the Portuguese post office. Very important. important to note that all CTT offices take lunch breaks, so you may wind up in the middle of the day saying, "Oh, I can't get in there." Well, that's part of living in Portugal. And there it is, inside of the church. This town, if you go down this street, you will eventually reach the Pingo Doce on the right near the waterfront. It's a very small supermarket, but it's one of 3 supermarkets in town, and 2 really are in town. The other is just north of town. So now that we're getting closer and closer to the water, we start seeing the tchotchke shops, the tourist shops. And this is kind of another way, I guess, Ribeira Brava is drives us a little crazy. I know it's kind of we are expats. We shouldn't be complaining, but sometimes we get really annoyed by the number of tourists in town. And Ribeira Brava particularly during cruise season, just gets inundated by tourists. It's a very popular place to come and buy up the stuff. And you'll see, here's the Cristiano Ronaldo jerseys. Here's the Madeira hats, and here's are the souvenir T-shirts. Some of it's pretty good. I'm not knocking it, but if you want to get away from it, this is not the place. And we're going to go into one of the markets here. I like it. I think it's a little touristy. It's almost like Ribeira Brava's version of the Mercados Lavradores. A little overpriced, but definitely not as overpriced as Mercado dos Lavradores. And they claim a lot of their stuff is regional, as in local. We got the figs, of course, which are wonderful, the black and the white figs. Panela, corn, squash, feijoa verde, green beans, their version of green beans, sweet potatoes. Beautiful stuff, actually. I'm not entirely complaining, but if you go into this Amorginja frutaria, they'll be kind of saying, "Hey, here's some really expensive macadamia nuts." Always trying to push things on you, and I'm going to show you a better alternative later. Okay, so here we are on the waterfront, and looks like this is usually a bar, and it's closed. I don't know whether it's fechado para obras. This is the non-public Ribeira Brava beach. It's where we like to bring our dogs here. We've brought both Happy and Poochie here on separate occasions. And over there, past there, although those rocks, is the public beach, which is less busy now that we have reached the first day of October.